Good morning, everybody. This is Stretford Paddock. I'm Casey, and got some good news this morning. So let me just have a drink of this coffee, and then I'll get right into it. So, as you know, big news. It's been following United. If you've been under a rock, you might not have heard it, but Bruno Fernandes. Now, Bruno Fernandes is apparently coming to United. That's one of the things that we've been hearing. We've been hearing it from multiple sources. Goncalo Lopez yesterday suggested Fernandes to United depends on the players they want on loan. Like some Marcus Rojo's been mentioned, maybe someone like Angel Gomez or Joe Pereira. But the announcement, according to him, would be coming today. Now, a lot of sources have been backing this up, so we're getting a bit excited here. Now, you know, like in the past, we've been let down by certain members of the club. But it's interesting to see how many sources have been backing this up. So let's just go through a couple of them. Obviously, the Guardian this morning have said that United are ready to firm up their interest in Bruno Fernandes for around 60 million, and the player is keen. The Mail reporting Fernandes has informed Sporting that he wishes to join United. You've got other sources saying that obviously, with the president and the sporting director being in London to try and make a deal, this is showing there is definitely something there. Now, Sporting Lisbon head coach admitted in an interview that they're making plans to lose Fernandes this January. He says, I can't guarantee any of these things because I don't know. I don't like to think about it, but I'll be thinking of alternatives in case Bruno leaves. And finally, we've got Laurie Whitwell from The Athletic saying, while some at the club are exercising caution, the presence of Sporting's president Varandas and Sporting director Vianis in London on Friday indicates a willingness to get a deal done. Now, everyone in the comments is probably going to have their opinions. Go make some comments. What you think? Just let me know in your comments. What do you think? Do you think Bruno Fernandes is going to be the answer to the problems? Now, some of you may remember, maybe in the summer, I said that I wasn't a fan of the Bruno Fernandes transfer. I would have probably preferred some other options. Now, I'm going to admit I've probably changed my mind on this fact. I think Bruno Fernandes would be good for United. Now, I'll tell you why, and you probably, as a United fan, would understand my reasoning why. I said he took a lot of shots from outside the box, and I said there were a lot of wasted shots, and it was a lot of wasted possession, which was true. However, having seen Andreas Pereira and Fred constantly take those shots and them not go anywhere near the net, I'm now preferable to having a player who at least scores some of those in practice to take those shots instead. I think he'd slot in perfectly. I think we've been missing a lot of energy in the number 10 role. He can also play out wide on the right mid, as he's played against Vitória and scored twice this weekend. Now, does that mean that we couldn't get other targets in this position? Obviously, as a player who can be pushed out wide, this could also mean that we get another creative player through the middle. Could also mean that because he can play through the middle, we get another winger. You just don't know. It's honestly the most excited I've been as a United fan in a transfer window for a bit. I mean, obviously, we haven't had transfers for a while, but who knows? Who knows? Now, we've got to hope that United can get this deal over the line. We've got to have reinforcements. The midfield is very sparse. We obviously are lacking creativity. Andreas Pereira is probably, and Mata at the weekend got 2 assists. He's our most creative player. He was apparently on the way out, really, in terms of his career. So we really do need to get this deal over the line. There's probably still a bit of leeway for someone at the club to mess this up. Again, I'm not going to name any names, but I think everyone knows who I mean. So, moving on. Right, Donny van der Beek, another player that could play in the midfield, was touted a couple of weeks ago. I don't think it's happening. I don't think anyone thinks it's happening now because Bruno Fernandes might be happening, but we're not going to say it anymore. Bruno Fernandes. If you get me, I've just been passed a memo. If you get me 500 likes, I'll get Housen to join me on this. Now, this will be interesting. If you can get 500 likes on this video, Steve Housen will be making an appearance. So let's get back to Donny van der Beek while you get smashing that like button. For an opinion on Bruno, that's the big part. For an opinion on Bruno, that's some good news right there. So I'd say hit that like button, get the 500 likes. So before we get back to that, we'll go to Van der Beek. Apparently, we're interested in him. Van der Beek has said he's not leaving Ajax, so we can't really look at that one. He said, it's not that I can or want to do something at the moment, like I've said before, and I will say it again, I will remain at Ajax this season and maybe next season as well. So that doesn't seem to be happening. We've obviously not... We're looking for quality in midfield, looking at Fernandes, but he doesn't seem to be coming. And I think that we bring it back to Fernandes. It's a step in the right direction. I feel like we need more reinforcements in terms of creativity. Donny van der Beek would have been a great option on top of Fernandes. But you've got the other options that we've been looking at. We're looking at apparently Jack Grealish. We've been looking at James Maddison. There's other players that we can look at. Donny van der Beek would have been a great option because his link-up play is great. As we saw against Tottenham in the Champions League, he links up well with the players. He gets the ball through the midfield very well. It's very interesting, that sort of transfer that we're looking at. Those sort of players that we're looking at are looking to improve our goal-scoring ability from the midfield, to spread out our goals more, because obviously Marcus Rashford is our top goal scorer, followed by Martial, and then followed by Mason Greenwood. So we're just looking for more goals in midfield. I'm just going to look into the comments for a second. We'll just have a look at what people are saying. How many likes needed to get Stephen Howson dancing again? I think he said 3 likes. 300 likes. Oh, 300 likes. 300 likes will get Steve dancing again. I think we'll definitely get Steve dancing again if Bruno Fernandes sides, but we'll just see. 300 likes and Steve will dance again. 500 likes and we want Howson dancing. Well, actually, if he comes on screen, he definitely will dance, I think. So I think he's going to... think Bruno Fernandes is going to suffer. Some fan channels hype this up too much. He's going to be judged for every mistake he makes and every game he doesn't assist. Also thinks he gets as much time on the ball in the Premier League. Well, the fact is that's something the fans have got to look to themselves for. Like, if they've got to expect this is a player coming from the Portuguese league, we're paying a lot of money for him. You've got to measure that in terms of he's going to have to settle into the midfield. He's only going to have half a season to do that. Maybe the time to start judging him is going to be next season. I mean, if he hits the ground running, then that's great. But the fact is after summer, when he's had time to train, had a pre-season with the team, is when you have to look at how he fits in and how he does well. But I think he'll make an impact straight away. I think, obviously, the low block that teams play, him taking shots from distance, will cause teams to have to come out to meet him in order to block his shots. But then, obviously, that adds for space in behind. That shows Marcus Rashford, as his goal against Norwich showed, that getting that space in behind is vital for us to score. So, some other people, Boubacar Samare, Milinkovic-Savic has been said in the comments. Boubacar Samare got sent off at weekend, and I think he had one of the lowest who scored ratings of that weekend. Probably, yeah, because of the red card against Dijon. Boubacar Samare is a player I really like. I liked watching him against Chelsea when he played for Lille. I thought he was a very tidy passer. He kept the play well, even though Lille themselves were not very good in that match. How many likes are we on, everybody? We're on 244. Come on, double that, and Steve will come on the video and talk about Bruno Fernandes. He'll give you his opinion. He'll give you an opinion you probably won't have heard before. It'll be great. Come on, just hit the likes. So Bruno to Tottenham. Some people are saying that. I think Tottenham are in for the other Fernandes. They're in for Gedson Fernandes, who we were also linked to, but I wasn't really sure about that. Alone with an option to buy. He's played 7 games, and apparently he's some wonder kid, and yet they're giving him an 18-month loan with an option to buy. Kind of telling. We'll move on to another subject. We'll move on to Jude Bellingham. Now, this is a player from Birmingham. So, again, the excitement might not be high on this transfer. Obviously, Fernandes is the big one. But Jude Bellingham is a player that apparently various outlets suggested that we've tabled a bid around the 12 million mark for Jude Bellingham. The Mirror reporting that United aren't the only club tracing his signature, and unfortunately, that doesn't name the other team. But we need numbers in midfield, and he's young. He's a young player. He'll bring energy into the midfield. It might not even be straight away for the first team, but we look at the players that have been brought up. Like, who would have said when Tottenham bought Dele Alli from League One, he was going to make an impact in the Premier League? Like, sometimes you've got to make the risk of going. Well, I mean, like, if you saw when we spent money on Daniel James, who thought he'd make the impact he made, you've got to look at that and say 12 million for a young player who's touted is not a lot of money right now. It's probably pocket money, and we've got to invest in the future. So I think he'd be a good signing. I haven't really seen him play. I can't really comment on that much. He looks apparently is quite a good passer. He's played around. He's obviously played up front. He's played on the wings. He's played through the middle attacking midfield. He's played in normal midfield, according to our online statistics. But he's a crucial part of Birmingham's first team. So that's got to hold some merit. He's been trusted in the Championship to perform for Birmingham. So I think it'd be a good signing. And you got to trust the board and you got to trust the scouting on that one. So back to the comments. Do they still want Longstaff? There's not really been much heard on the Longstaff front. Last was said it's kind of gone quiet on that sort of area. I don't think we're still interested. I think Newcastle want too much money. And obviously he's not really performed greatly this season. I mean, it depends which Longstaff you talk about. One of them scored twice against us. So,
200 likes. Come on, I got shit to say, man.
So yeah, 200 more likes. He is here. Like I'm not just making it up. He's ready to roll back on once you get those 200 likes. How many likes are we on? We're on 289. Come on. 211 more. 209 more. Yeah, Steve just rolling on. Just got everybody liking it. Come on. More likes. If you haven't liked it already, like it. If your mum hasn't liked it already, get her to like it. If your dad hasn't liked it, just carry on. Go through every family member. Ask your postman. Just get him to like the video and we'll get Steve on here. So, what can we buy Rooney back? I think Rooney's a bit old now. I think obviously he's playing for Derby. He looked good in his debut, but I don't think that's really the player we should be looking at. Bruno coming in probably means more Maddison or Grealish. Does it? Does it at all? Like as I said, Fernandes can play out wide. He can play. We could look at more creative. I mean, if we're playing against lower oppositions who are playing a lot deeper, we could probably do what City do and play two creative midfielders, maybe 2 8s. You never know. That's the times when we need more creativity on the pitch in order to break down the lines by not playing another defensive midfielder. So those are the times that we probably would look to have two creative midfielders that we bring in. I mean, Pogba would be the ideal because then we wouldn't have to spend money, but he's injured. He looks like he might want to leave. I mean, like we're not really sure. He seems to have had injuries, so we're going to have to leave that for now. Is Bruno coming, really? And are you Ollie in or Ollie out? That's from Jens K102. Is Bruno coming? I'm going to say yes. Why not? Why not? Well, I'm going to believe the transfer rumours. I'm going to hope that at this moment in time, I think that Bruno Fernandes, according to all these, there's no smoke without fire. I'm going to hope he's coming. I'm going to hope that everything that's been said is true, and I'm going to do what United fans do, and I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to hope that he's going to be here. And am I Ollie in or Ollie out? I am Ollie in. I am going to say that now. I support Solskjaer. I think that what he's doing is good. I think you can see where he needs to improve the team, and I feel like we can see a style. You can see a sort of team that he wants to build, and I think it's great. We've got only 100 likes. Come on, like 100 more likes, and Steele, come on, 100 more. There's 1,000 people watching. 100 more likes. That's all we need. Seen what Jack Grealish liked on Twitter. Yeah, we put something on Twitter about that. Obviously, it was shown that was 1, maybe 2 pictures he unliked the United picture, and then liked a claret and blue. Oh, look. Oh, what's this? A mic is slowly appearing next to me. It's only a few more likes, and that mic might get used. What did Jack Grealish like? Jack Grealish liked a picture that said, imagine this, but in red, and it was a picture of him walking off at Old Trafford. And then obviously now it says, imagine this, but in claret and blue. So it's an Aston Villa thing. That was the picture he liked apparently on Twitter. Boy, until we see Bruno holding up the shirt, I don't trust this. Well, you've just got to have the optimism, haven't you? You've just got to hope that it's true. We've got 45 more likes. We're going to slide over. Oh, here we go. Steve's here.
Mic on, please. Squire.
He's saving.
We're having it. Can you hear me now? You hear me now? 1, 2, 1, 2, 10-4, little buddy.
I'm
right.
Sit my brew while he's talking.
I think there's a lot in this. I think there's certainly no smoke without fire, and different to what happened in the summer. In the summer, there was no interest from United in terms of a transfer. I think we probably scouted him, but we scouted 802 right backs before we got to Wan-Bissaka, didn't we? So I think the links in the summer were the word on the street was it was all the Portuguese press pushing it. And actually, if you go back and look at that, it was all the Portuguese press pushing it. Now, if you look what's pushing it, there's a lot of smoke coming from the UK as well. Now, those UK journalists are connected to the club. They've got people inside the club and stuff like that. And I think that there's a lot in this one. So I'm going to say I think that this is one that we're working on. That doesn't mean that it's done. I don't think anyone who's sitting here and saying done deal, anyone that's sitting here and saying this is already wrapped up. It's not already wrapped up. He could fail a medical. I think the personal terms are fine. I think that's not going to be an issue for us. I would say figuring out the fee, because to me it looks like there's still a bit of work to be done on how much he's going to cost. Still a little bit of work to be done. In terms of I think they want players. I
think a couple of sources have been saying that they want players on loan.
Yeah.
Which then includes their wages that would have to be negotiated. A couple have said that they want it in installments because it's to help with their payments.
And that's obviously complications to a deal that could still make it go tits up. What's annoying is that we're 2 weeks into the window. And this has only just sort of happened now. Why didn't you start this in November? Why didn't you start this the first week of December? I don't actually know when this was begun, and I'm not going to complain if we actually get the guy over the line. For me, positionally, I've seen a lot of people saying, does this mean Maddison's off? Does this mean Grealish is off? There's obviously talk of other players in the mix as well. I don't think it interferes. I think Maddison, Grealish, Havertz are a one option thing. I think Bruno was just Bruno. I think we was like, this is a player that we wanted to get. Luke in the comments saying 50 mil plus Rojo and Angel. I don't think either of them want to go, and I'm not sure they can afford Rojo's wages. We got a bit of breaking news there, have we?
This was from Ojogo, just talking about what you were saying about Rojo's wages. Apparently his high wages, which is 5.2 million euros a year, an obstacle and one of the aspects of the deal that yet to be defined, which was just from Ojogo, which is the Portuguese.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure that the wages of Rojo was going to be something that they could rock and roll with. But I don't think Bruno's in that list with Grealish and Maddison and possibly Havertz and possibly some other people as well for the number 10. I think this is Pogba's replacement. I think United have gone early, and I think that we've gone. I think we've just accepted Pogba's going, and we've saw an opportunity to whip in and get him. So I'm very excited actually. I saw someone saying that he's not going to have as much time in the Portuguese league. The one thing that I've noticed about Bruno Fernandes is that he's very early. Doesn't dwell on the ball. Pogba dwells on the ball.
Yeah.
And still finds enough because of his physicality and his
Pogba
pure
ability. One of the best players I've ever seen in terms of having the ball in round of the foot area of where he's standing. He's brilliant.
He uses his arse really well to block people off. He's obviously got a brilliant touch, so he keeps it just away from people. But from what I've seen of Bruno Fernandes, because he's a lot smaller.
Yeah,
I think he's about my height. I think so. He's a lot smaller than Paul Pogba. I think that he goes early. I think he shoots early, which is why he does have so many shots from outside the box. And I agree with exactly what you said before about the wastefulness of Fred and Pereira. If someone's going to be shooting from outside the box, this lad's got a bit of a fucking rep for scoring those bangers. So I just hope we get it done. I hope we get it done in time for Anfield, because what an absolute opportunity that would be to have him unload one at Anfield and give us a real fucking good go. Yeah. This is going to be a shit week for United, probably. There's a good chance that we're going to struggle against Wolves. Every chance we get smacked around at Anfield. Every chance we get smacked around at the Etihad. So we need some cheer. So get this fucking deal done, lads. That's what I'll say. Sorted.
Definitely, yeah. So that was Steve's opinion on the match. A lot of people have been saying in the comments about Bruno's versatility. So obviously he's been played at 6 at Sampdoria. He's played at 8 at Sporting System. He's played at 10. He's played out wide. He's a player that obviously it doesn't mean that no one else is going to come in, because obviously he can fit in different places. If we play him a bit further back, that means we have creativity deeper, and then have someone in number 10 who can play with him. As I was saying before, having 2 creative players against these lower league teams who've been blocking us is really important.
Yeah, it gives us options.
It gives us options. So obviously, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's going to happen. I'm going to get giddy, because why not? We need something to get giddy about, as you said. But I think that's everything we've got to talk about today. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, we're going to have videos throughout the week talking about transfers, talking about
my brew's on later. We'll be having another cup of tea.
Brew's on later, yeah.
And Joe's live later with that absolute fucking chaos. If you're into that sort of thing.
I've tuned in a couple of times and I've been honestly just completely confused, but it's also fantastic. So enjoy that. Anyway, that's been us here at Stretford Paddock. See you next time.